All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Morning Miracle Call. My name is Michelle Niels. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado, and today is Monday, August 11th, 2025. So happy to see you all. And those of you who have been here before, you're going to hear the housekeeping rules for the 100th millionth time. But for those of you who are new, it's really important that we kind of let you know uh, the ground rules for these calls, just so that we stay compliant. So these calls are all about sharing the patches, okay, and Celergize. And we are going to speak symptoms only. So we're going to remain compliant and don't use any disease names. And we are going to share how we felt before, what patch we used, and what the result was. And we love to hear from everyone, and especially the new people, because there are some people here who we've never heard from. And we are going to welcome you with our big hearts. And so be bold and be brave and step up and raise your hand. There's a reaction button at the bottom of the screen where you can raise your hand. If for some reason you can't find it, you might put a note in the chat, and one of our team members will see that, and we'll make sure you get your testimonial shared. So we spend about 30 minutes on this call, and the first half, the first 15 minutes, are focused just on the X39. So let's be real clear about that, because that is the star of the show. All of us started with the X39, and we all stay with that for the rest of our lives, most likely, for me, for sure. And also we can share Celergize stories in the first 15 minutes, okay? So X39 and Celergize, and then we'll open up to the other patches. And let's keep our shares to a minute or less, please, because, well, right now we have not quite 100, but we usually are well over 100 on these Monday morning miracle calls. So we want to have as many people share as possible. So if you're new, please, please, we would love to hear from you. So raise your hand. We're so excited when new people share. And we also love the veterans like Lavelle, who has his hand up. Lavelle always has wonderful things to share and all kinds of good business tips for us on the business chats. So Lavelle, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and
Thanks,
unmute.
Michelle.
Yeah.
So we're ramping up for the incentive trip to go to the Bahamas. So we're out Saturday, Anna Majay and myself, and we were having some lunch. I think, yeah, we were having some lunch at a restaurant, and this gentleman was walking by with a limp, and I said, "Hey, are you okay?" He said, "Oh, I have gout." I was like, oh my gosh. And my wife, Ina Jay, was talking to some ladies about her. Right? And I said, listen, I think I got something that can help you. So I pulled out my patches and put an X39 on his gout. And he said, oh man, it does work. 'Cause I was telling him about how it works. And I said, well, they got up and they were ready to leave. And I said, how you feel? He said, I feel good, but it's still a little pain. I said, okay, let me put another one on there. So I put a second X39 on that gout, and guess what? He stopped limping. And started walking straight.
Oh,
And,
that's beautiful.
and I followed up. Go ahead. I followed up with him. That was Saturday, and Sunday we followed up with him. So he's a new family member. He enrolled yesterday as
Oh
a
my
as a
gosh.
preferred customer, and fortune is in the follow up and the friendship. So there we go.
That's just beautiful, Lavelle.
And
Now I have to ask, someone is speaking. Let's keep our lines muted unless you're actually sharing, okay? Thank you. Lavelle, I know that condition, it usually affects the big toe or part of the foot. So was he taking his shoe and sock off in the restaurant?
He had one shoe on, and on the other he had a slipper on because he couldn't put the shoe on his other. And so we put, one, two X39s, and that's our system now. If one works great, if not, put two, if not, put three X39s on the area of concern, and you'll get that relief. Now, Ina J had something she wanted to share as well. Real quick.
Real quick, hello, dear heart. You look beautiful as ever.
Thank you, honey.
Um, yes, so I was sitting with these beautiful ladies. And so it was so funny because this lady, Hispanic lady, bought me a drink. And I don't drink hard alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I drink champagne. And so anyway, she bought me the drink she was drinking and didn't even know me. And so I was like, where'd this drink come from? Oh, the lady over there bought it. And so I wound up going over there, sitting with her and her girlfriend for about an hour and a half. And I was talking about the product, talking about the trip and everything. So I'm meeting up with them, and they're super excited about the product. And it was just a leeway in, and God just let me, I don't know, And so I told him, I said, look, she found out that her best friend was moving away to Mexico. And she found out by me asking because they're Hispanic. And she was in shock. I said, well, what better way than to send her off by going on a cruise to the Bahamas? And they said, the Bahamas? And I said, yes. So we're getting together and we're going to strategize to see how they could come into the company and win the trips for them, their husbands, and plus, so we can 6 of us can go to the Bahamas together. Isn't that awesome?
Beautiful. We're all making new friends because everyone wants to travel and take a cruise. All right, love it.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thanks, Majay. Okay, go ahead and unmute. I'm not sure who you are because you have a long exemplars USA. Who's
It's
this?
Heidi from Idaho. I'm
Hello,
in
Heidi.
little rural Idaho. I just have a quick share. I was inspired by reading the patent, I don't know, probably a year ago, where it talked about the man, Lauren Picard, that found the GHK peptide in 1973 when I was 3 years old. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to start going on Sunday mornings and donate plasma. Well, just yesterday, I had the strangest thing happen. So I normally don't put my patches, my X39 on until 9 a.m., but I donate really early. And I thought, oh, I'm going to be going out to lunch. I'm just going to put it on right now instead of putting it on when I go back home. And I donated in 16 minutes less time. So the speed of my plasma going through my body was faster wearing the X39. So I only had to sit there for 45 minutes instead of my typical hour and 6 minutes. So I have no idea how X39 did that, but I know it did.
I love it. I love it. That's quite an interesting story, Heidi. You know, I think we might say, what is it? It's association, maybe not causation, but it could be causation, right? So I say keep experimenting, keep doing it, and see if that keeps happening. All right. Is it, I can't read. Terry? Is that Terry is the next person? Yes, Terry, please go ahead and unmute. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Terry.
Okay. I have been on the X39 for about 7 months. When I began wearing it, I had been having numbness, tingling, burning sensations in my feet. So
Very
the
good job
day,
of describing symptoms, Terry. Good job.
thank you.
Good job.
Yes. So I signed up. I put on the patch. It was on a Monday. And Tuesday morning, when I woke up, no pain, no tingling, no numbness, no burning sensation in my feet. So that is my story.
Are you saying that happened
X39.
with
One day, the next day. So I was amazed. And I've had this sensation for quite a few years. And so X39 was my miracle.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, that is a miracle. And science. Thank you, Terry.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
Beck.
Yay, okay. Terry, congratulations. Boy, what a great story. I'm going to share it. Okay. And I got inspired last night on Doc Talk, and gonna, I'll tie it up with the bow at the end. I'm gonna practice doing this in 1 minute or less. I'm gonna get that down. So I got on what was going on in my body when I got on the patches in November 22. I thought I was good. I just was in the middle of Corona cray cray, and I wanted to be preventative. Little did I know that that little bitty patch was going to show me some things that were going on in my body that I didn't know of. And I was one of those just believed the moment I heard about it, heard someone else's story, didn't know the name of it, didn't know the company name. I just said, hey, I want those. Let's do it. And so what happened was week 1 and week 2, I started sleeping like I did when I was in high school. I didn't even know my sleep wasn't that great, but it was like I went to sleep, I woke up, it felt like I'd been asleep for 5 minutes and I'd slept 7 straight hours. Amazing. Then I started dreaming. Sleep, 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 as we know, so important. I also was always tired by lunch. So I thought, I'm getting older. This is just how it goes. I not only got a second win in the afternoon, I got a third win in the evening. So the energy was off the chart, and optimism. And I started thinking about the future. I started researching what the heck are stem cells, and I got a new passion in my 60s of something I want to do for the rest of my life, which is tell people how our bodies work and what this little bitty X39 patch can do for them. I noticed last night that there was a new person just drilling down, wanting to get information on how to know more about the patch. And I was over here going, just invite people to Doc Talk. So I want to share how the educational part, what I did was self-taught. I got on every Tuesday night with Dr. Stacy. I learned so much. I've become a biology geek. But that Doc Talk is invaluable. And I wanted to say, I just tell people at the beginning, I don't know anything about it, but come learn with me. So until you're an expert, just tell your one story. It's just, I'm so excited and so grateful. And I just love, love, love Monday morning calls in this community. Thank you so much.
Well, we love you too, Beck. Your energy is infectious. And to
Thank
have a
you.
passion in your 60s, I mean, many people don't have a passion in their 40s. So it's
Okay,
like,
well, yeah,
yay, we
talk
have
about result.
passion.
Yeah, that's another result from the patches.
That's another result. And
Exactly.
you're right. And you're right. And as we've heard often, Lavelle and Gregory and Robin, when you're talking, you're pointing to a tool. So we don't have to be experts.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you so much. Beautiful. All right, Sunshower. And oh, yay, we got another hand up. Okay, you shy people. I think there's someone, I don't want to call her out, but there's someone I worked with this weekend who said she was going to share or her husband was going to share. So let's get your hand up. Okay, Sunshower.
Okay, thanks, beautiful Michelle.
Thank you.
Good to see you as always. Okay, 2 quick stories. One is Celergize for myself. I find that Celergize is like evening me out, just kind of keeping me at the same, not just energy level, but even my mental, attitude. So Celergize, and I don't seem to need naps in the afternoon, which I used to. Just so the new folks know, I'm in my high 70s now.
No,
And I,
no way.
yeah,
She's
baby.
lying. She's lying. No.
No. And so the other story is quickly. So Saturday I was in Payson, Arizona, and I was drawing people's caricatures at a brain injury type event. And so all the people I drew had that issue. And I asked to speak with the director afterwards. I did that ahead of time, and she did. She gave me 15 minutes. I gave her a pat. She goes, put it here on my knee, and she let me know the next day that her knee felt better quickly. Do you know where that could lead? This is a statewide organization that's probably affiliated with other statewide organizations. Let's share the light, you guys.
Let's share the light. Thank you, Sunshower Rose. Beautiful. All right, Larry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me once again. I've given a few talks before about an orthopedic situation related to my leg, but I'm going to move to another one that I have probably not spoken about, but it's a rotator cuff. 30 years ago when I was playing basketball in church league, and I think Jonathan Beal's on here somewhere. He's my brother in hoops and the bald head thing going on. So I know you're seeing me, Jonathan. Anyway, I took a charge, which is where a guy kind of my size, which I'm 6'3", 205, landed on top of me, and I jammed the shoulder, erect it. And, ever since I've been able to get through it. But I've noticed since I've been doing X39, which will be 1 year starting next week, the clicking sounds, the grinding sounds of doing free weights, that is reducing. So the comfort's there, the strength is returning. So I encourage anybody that has old injuries to keep plugging away. And if I could share a little tip, everybody, we have these things, right? We have cell phones. Is there a better thing that detects light than our cell phones and our body heat? You know what I'm saying? We talk about a light signature. Well, our fingertips emit heat onto the surface of our cell phones. So if you're looking for an example, there's one right there.
Mhm.
You
That's
don't have
right.
to use the night vision goggles things.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's right. Your fingerprint to open your phone or whatever.
Yeah, the heat, the
Heat.
signature, the light. So
Mhm.
good. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Always love hearing from you.
Thanks.
Okay, Lavelle, I'm guessing, or is it
Yeah,
Majay?
okay. So a couple of my guys that have been in the business before, one of them, uh, he just hasn't been doing the business. He dropped out, and I told him about the Celergize, and he said, "Lavelle, well, send me a sample." And I was like, "Well, how do you send a sample of this powder?" So I just sent him a whole canister, and he calls me back. He said, "Lavelle, I am losing weight. This stuff is awesome." So now he's ready to re-engage and re-enroll. Then another friend of ours, um, he owns a barber shop in Pasadena, California, and he's a director, but he hasn't been engaged, but he keeps his position. And I went and shared it with him, made him some Celergize and nice and cold. And then I left him the whole canister about 2 months ago when it first came back out. And then he called me last night and he bought 3 canisters. He's like, "Lavelle, oh my God." Oh, so share the Celergize, guys.
Yes, beautiful. And just an idea, and I got this from Glenda, and I hope if she's on the call, maybe she'll raise her hand. So she sends little samples in the little mini Ziploc bags. She puts them in the mail and sends them to people, and many people from that have gone ahead and bought Celergize. All right, we're getting some more hands popping. Yay. Okay. And by the way, it's past 15 after, so we can talk about other patches. Okay, Tracy, go ahead and unmute.
Lavelle, thank you. You reminded me I need to do my Celergize. So I just want to let y'all know that my husband and I, we always wear our patches in a spot where it's visible because it always starts conversation. And sure enough, a few weeks ago at an event my husband was at, a gentleman comes up to him and he says, "Is that the X39 patch that you have on?" And he says, "It is." And he says, "My daughter got me on the X39 a couple of months ago." He says, "I'm retired from the military." And he says, "What I did is I jumped out of airplanes in the military." And he says, "My knees were shot." And he says, "The 2 months that my daughter's had me on this X39 has changed my life." So just my husband wearing his patch on his hand started a conversation, and we got a testimony from a veteran that in 2 months it's changed his life. That's how powerful it is.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Tracy. Love that share. Yep, we're changing lives, guys. It's awesome. Okay, Cam. Yay, Cam and Dan.
Hello.
Good
So I
morning.
want to share about this weekend was our first booth, my wife and I, and thank you for your help, Michelle and Glenda and Helen. So the place we were at, it was a retreat, and their head chef came and talked to us, and he said he was in severe pain, knees, feet mainly. And actually Michelle patched him up. And the next he's a huge skeptic. He didn't believe in him.
Huge
Huge.
skeptic.
Yep. And the next day he came to me and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, "I don't want to say this, but the patches actually helped me." And he wanted to know how he could order more. So I, I was amazed myself because I was a huge skeptic in the beginning. And him saying that to me made me even more of a believer, strengthened my conviction in this product. So I thank you for your help for patching him up with the Ice Wave and the X39.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was so fun. Chef Barrett, he was
Yep.
he was a little crusty on the outside, but he had a real warm heart underneath that.
Yes, he does.
We really enjoyed him. Thanks, guys. Okay, Allie, then Jerry, then Danielle.
I love the practitioners who are on our team. And Dr. Pena was talking about attenuation, and that reminded me, once you've had a really bad injury, which I had when I was 16, when your body's ready to heal again, you get back in that same pain. And that happened, and he suggested with my knee, the X39 behind my knee, and I think this is what he said, but I've been doing the glutathione and Eon on the front, and instantly the pain was gone. And so I know there's serious healing going on, and I'm thankful to have learned about that.
Thank you, Allie. Yeah, a lot of people have knee things, so that's good reminder. And I heard it, maybe it was a doc talk, when you're trying to remember where the Eon and the glutathione goes on the knee. So Eon on the inside and glutathione on the outside of your knee if you have knee issues. And remember, glutathione glute, your glutes, your rear. So you're going to remember the glute goes on the outside. Okay, Jerry, go ahead.
Hi, Michelle. And with that too, Michelle, even David, he says, with that, make sure you're hydrating, have your X39, but vitamin C, and you're going to be growing the cartilage.
That's
so that's
right.
really great.
That's right.
From him to know. So yeah.
That's right. And
So-
now we have vitamin C in Celergize. Yay.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I had a new person that she put it on, and when I went back to see her, she says, I don't know what got into me. She says, I was washing my floors on the inside, then I went out and did my patio. I did my patio furniture. I kept going, and I didn't have to slow up. So she says, I don't know what got into me. And then I had a gentleman that he had a accident when he was a teenager with a lawnmower, and lost his foot, so he has a prosthesis. And in talking to him at first, I didn't know it was that type of a severe that it was. And then as we talked, he says, can I put this down by my knee? And he did. And I got a text that night that he said, I think all these things are hullabaloo. I think that's what he said. But he says, all my life I had the pain in my knees and that, and I'm 90% down in the pain. He says, I can't believe it. And I think I have a couple more seconds here. I'll just go into everybody with my pelvis when I fractured it in 2 places, because other than the X39 with it, in 45 seconds using the ice waves, I used 3 sets of them. But then the EMTs were able to put the claw under me and take me away. And I never used a pain drug the whole time I healed. I'm not saying that when I moved to get an x-ray and that but I was able to work with it, and I didn't have to use a drug. And also after 2.5 years of X39 and looking like I was ancient, trying to get up and down and hanging on to tables, I can get up and down all by myself, not even use my hands, and push myself off my heels, and my knees are like as good as new, like when you're young. So thank you very much. And you look gorgeous, Michelle.
Thank you. So do you, Miss Jerry. Beautiful. We're all getting younger. Well, reversing the biological clock. All right, Danielle. Is it Danielle Lynn or is it?
Yes, my last name is Lynn.
Okay. All right.
Danielle.
Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. I'll do just a quick share. I took someone to the center to see everything in Draper, and he was a bug guy, who comes to your door and sells. So I said, and he was riding around in my neighborhood on one of those scooters, no handle scooters, to his door to door. Anyway, he ended up coming, very reserved kind of person, didn't say a lot by the time he left, didn't really call and say, that was great. He said, well, it was very interesting. I'd like to see some more patents. Anyway, a couple months went by and he called me day before yesterday and said, my wife is in severe pain. She had tooth problems that went awry, and now she's in nerve pain. And I'm wondering would the patches work? We've tried everything. So I said, sure. So I drove like all the way back down 20 miles, I think it was, just to meet him. And she's sitting there, and he told me she had everything in the world that was wrong with her. When I asked her, she said, oh, no, everything's good with me. Anyway, I put the patch on. She was at a 7. I put it directly, I put multiple.
Which patch,
And
Danielle?
start with the X39 on the back of the neck. And I even talked to Robin about this. It's a hard one to get with the nerve stuff. I put an X39 on the back. I put an Eon on the right side, right on the top of the pain. And then I patched it with the Ice Wave. And I actually put the brown on the pain and the white on the back. And it took about, I would say, 10 seconds. And we went from 7 to a 5.
Wow.
And then we got it down to about a 4.5. I double patched it again. They went home. They didn't buy it on the spot. And he called me the next morning, texted me the next morning. And he said, you know, that was incredible. However, she has not been able to open her jaw for months, and her jaw opened. So that was really interesting because we didn't expect that, you know, so, you know, always say that, you know, you can't pick the fix. So now they're going to get patches. So that was interesting for me to have the experience of double patching and being a little nervous about not knowing exactly what I was doing.
Right. Well, we've all been there, right? All of us. Like, what are we doing? But you know, I really firmly believe that with our heartfelt intention, a little prayer, and you know, just asking for guidance. And sometimes I'm sure you've heard on these calls, Danielle, that sometimes if the only patch you have is carnosine or an SP6, there was a story once on this call on the Monday morning. I think someone said all they had was an SP6, and that helped take the pain away. So there's something very magical and mysterious in addition to the science, I believe. So, yeah. And when you have a heart to help and serve, that's a big piece. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, Kate.
Good morning, everybody. When Beck was speaking, she reminded me of something that happened to me the first day in May of 2022 when I put on my first X39 patch. All day long, I was aware of something that I had never felt, a super sense of well-being. And I kept asking myself, is this real? Or is this that patch? Is this real? Is it really happening? All day long, I was aware of that. And it was a wonderful, uplifting feeling, obviously. And what happened shortly after that was I had upper arm issues that the doctor said was inherited, and you can't do anything about it. And I'm like, well, I know that's just not true. And the patches came and the patches healed that. And what I was experiencing was like sharp, pointy, red, hurting bumps from like the elbow up on both sides. And that hurt when you put clothes on, and the hopeless thought for the first few months of his comment was so penetrating. And then it was so uplifting to feel my arms. It's like, oh my gosh, this was in the first few days. Those went away. No more pain, no more red, no more bumps. And the next thing that happened, these lines across my forehead went away. The 11s this way went away. Some other things started happening down here in the first few days. Now that I wasn't prepared for. So what I want to suggest and share is please write down every single little thing that happens as it happens in your notebook. You're going to have a LifeWave journal. Put a couple of pages, because through the time that we're patching, we're having more things happen all the time. That, and for all the new people that don't know, take your before picture or your right away started picture, and then every couple of months, take another picture, because the days that you feel like, well, I'm not sure they're doing anything, then if you'll compare your pictures, you will find the evidence that
Yeah.
you collected is going to tell you the truth. And it's so uplifting. I don't look the same. And I know other people in here don't look the same. And it's so happy, joyful, gratitude moments, from all of this. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, take pictures of your face and your scars, right? Those two, those start to fade. So we're going to finish with Jerry, Gregory, and then Robin. Perfect, because we're at the bottom of the hour. Okay, Jerry, do you have a quick one?
Yeah, real quick. Just want to let people, I had that surgery done to the eyes where, you have a film there and they have to do something for it. And I had the first one done the week before. And I did the X39 here, and at nighttime wore a carnosine mask. And my next appointment, he was surprised at how fast. And I'm getting the second one done tomorrow. And so I will be doing that, the X39 and the carnosine on my mask I wear at nighttime. Thank you. Really works.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, Jerry. Okay. Gregory
Well,
and Robin.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm going to just say a couple of things. I'm going to pass it over to Robin, but I want to remind everybody it's Monday morning and we have our weekly update. It came in 20 minutes ago. Isn't that awesome? I'm so excited about that. So the week ahead, Product Connect with David this week. Wow, you won't want to miss that. Current promotions in here, incentive trip information, leadership summit. Oh, USA launch begins today. Oh my gosh, it's happening. Oh, wow. Back office updates. Mark your calendar. Look at that. A whole list of events. Ah, our company is communicating. So with that said, I'll turn it over to you, sweetheart. Go ahead. Not you, Michelle, Robin.
Okay, great job, Michelle. And
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful stories, because it's the lifeblood of our business. So I just wanted to share that tomorrow night, I believe Michelle is hosting Dr. Shauna, is what I have on the schedule. I got to get confirmation. And tonight, we have a very special treat for you on our community call, which is at 6 p.m. Pacific on liveyoungerzoom.com. We are hosting and introducing to all of you Shirley, who is the Western Regional Sales Manager, and she lives in California, and she is there to be of service to all of us, and you'll get to learn a little bit about her, her background, and what her role is, and how we can best work with her. So that's coming tonight, and you're gonna love, love, love her. I instantly fell in love with her, and we bonded for life because she sat in the bobsled with Gregory and I. So we have quite a shared experience. Anyway, exciting times, so much going on. Please read your newsletter every week and make sure your people do. It's in your email, and we know sometimes emails slip away, but this is going to be really, really valuable to stay connected. And who's going for the cruise? Yay! Okay. Print your point tracker. It's in it's in what's new in Live Younger Success. And I believe we put it on the front page of the Facebook group too, but we'll make sure it's there also. Okay, guys. Thank you. Mwah.
Thanks, Michelle. Great job.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle. Look great.
Come on, share the light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone for your
Thank you.
testimony.
Thank
you, Larry. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Community
Lisa.
ever.
Have a marvelous.
Thank you so much.
God bless
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Best community ever.
Miracle Monday.
Thank you, Michelle. Blessings to all.
Blessings
Great
to
job,
all.
Michelle.
Wonderful. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Coach, what's
Awesome.
going on, Coach Vincent?
Thanks
Blessings.
to everybody. Thank you,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Great
Thanks,
leadership.
everyone. Have a blessed
Thanks for
week.
being here. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
Okay.
Michelle.